A special thanks to my channel members, Loki Bentio at the legendary Blader role, and NQG420 at the special grade role. You are all awesome.
Wait, let him cook.
In Jujutsu Kaisen, there are characters that will go down in history for putting on generational performances. Obviously, that means there will be characters that will go down in history as being utterly disappointing. Now, there's one character in Jujutsu Kaisen that I feel ranks below the description of disappointing, a character that has surpassed the lowest period in Sukuna's career when it comes to being a fraud. Which already sounds insane because during the peak of the Fraud Kuno Agenda campaign, we witnessed slander towards a character that at the time I thought could not be topped. Sukuna was being compared to one of the biggest bums in One Piece, Sanji. People were making edits of Sukuna taking a nap after he got hit with a black flash from Gojo. If you were a Sukuna fan during this period in the fandom, Gojo fans were the equivalent of the colossal titan during the first episode of Attack on Titan. Personally, I had lost almost all hope for Sukuna when these events were going on. I was extremely convinced that Gege had drank the Gojo juice and was going to ruin this series. I even uploaded an entire video just clowning on Sukuna. That was probably the easiest video script I've ever written because a lot of the jokes write themselves. That was truly how bad it was for Sukuna. Luckily, Sukuna's fight against Gojo concluded with his victory, so a lot of the agendas being pushed stopped holding a lot of weight after chapter 236 was released, which meant that people were passionately waiting to see which character in the series would fumble to the point where a new king of the frauds would be crowned. So when the news that Jujutsu Kaisen was ending in 5 chapters was announced, people quickly understood which character deserved to sit on the empty throne. Yes, I'm talking about Kinji Hakari, the man stated to be stronger than Yuta when he decides to lock in. The people have been waiting for Hakari to lock in since 1974. Hakari is undoubtedly the new king of the frauds. The title for this video is calling Hakari the greatest fraud in Jujutsu Kaisen, but I think that using the term fraud is being too nice to Hakari. There has to be a word in the dictionary that can truly describe how much this man stinks.
A few moments later.
Hakari is the greatest Ponzi scheme in Jujutsu Kaisen. This nigga is the culmination of theoreticals and headcanons. My brain was cooking with that one because a Ponzi scheme truly does accurately describe what Hakari is. The investment looked fantastic at first glance because the TikTok dances were tricking people the same way black men fall victim to Snow Bunny mind control. However, once the altercation between Hakari and Urarame continued to show little signs of progress, people finally started recognizing Hakari as the true potential man of the series. All Hakari is good for is stalling. He is a glorified meat shield. Hakari does a fantastic job at tanking attacks, and if that was all he was set up to be, I would have no issues with him, but that's not the reality of the situation. Now, I will give Hakari his flowers here because his unkillable mode is cracked when it comes to defensive capabilities. I find that a lot of people in the fandom downplay Hakari's unkillable mode, and when I say people, I'm primarily talking about Yuta fans. I've seen people say that Yuta could speed blitz Hakari and cut his head off to one-shot him as if Hakari's neck wouldn't start regenerating like Muzan midway through the slash. We have literally seen Hakari have a lightning strike his head and heal himself at the same time the damage is being received. A sword is not killing that man. I'm sorry, that agenda needs to be put to rest. So while the unkillable mode is a fantastic defensive ability, once you take the time to look at Hakari's offensive stats is when you begin to realize that he is not really impressive in that department. Hakari's only on-screen victory is against Charles. Hakari versus Yuji ends in a draw. Hakari versus Kashimo ends in a draw because both parties agree that the fight wasn't conclusive, and Hakari versus Urarame isn't even something you can classify as a fight. Hakari is a draw merchant. Hakari cannot finish fights. He does not have the facilities for that. Again, Hakari has altercations, not fights. It's like Gege reaches inside his Oda bag whenever he writes something involving Hakari. All Hakari has is statements. Statements that his fans have been holding on to for dear life for 3 years. The most significant statement being Yuta's comment in chapter 146. Hakari fans, I have a very important mission for y'all. I need y'all to educate me in the comment section of this video. Please explain to me where in this series is Hakari use an attack that is more powerful than Yuta's love beam. If someone can reference a chapter where this happens, I will upload a Hakari apology video. But until then, Hakari fans will simply need to hold that. I am witnessing Hakari fans go through the 7 stages of grief worse than Gojo fans did when chapter 236 released. Because you niggas can deflect all you want promoting agendas about random series like Undead Unluck, and it won't change the fact that Hakari has been twerking instead of fighting for the last 8 months. So if you're someone that wants to improve their aura, check out Anime Express, a sponsor of today's video. Let's be real, a lot of anime merch sucks, low quality, and the designs are not moving the soul. all, but the Anime Express store has something for you. Hoodies, t-shirts, LED lamps, and black blades in stock filled with Mihawk's Conquerors Haki. The site even has some more casual options if you want a more low-key look. Personally, I think the coolest items in the catalog are the Toji compression shirt and the blue lock necklace. If you're someone putting that work in at the gym to attain that godly physique, then this is a no-brainer pickup. Show off those muscles like a true egoist should. Also, since I make sure to look out for my people, if you use the code TheLocalDub10, you get a 10% discount at checkout, so make sure to lock in at animeexpress.store to gain plus 500 aura. Now let's get back into the video. Hakari's Mickey Mouse rough cursed energy that is apparently supposed to feel like sandpaper is going to rival Yuta's love beam attack? When has Hakari's rough cursed energy truly mattered in a fight? Hakari is not a single devastating attack in his toolkit. He is truly a punch, kick, and environment merchant. People call Yuji a punch and kick merchant, but at least Yuji has blood manipulation and shrine, so his attacks are at least lethal. Now I just said the environment and people are going to be confused on what I mean by this. Hakari's best showcase is during his fight against Kashimo. Now the only reason Hakari didn't get completely stomped in the later half of this fight is because there was a sea nearby to carry his ass. Lend me some water, sea curses. This is base Kashimo we are up against. Again, Hakari has one move, his domain expansion Idle Death Gamble, a move that when you really take a moment to analyze in retrospect, you begin to question what is Hakari even doing against top tiers. How is Hakari killing Kenjaku? How is Hakari killing Maki? How is Hakari killing Yuta? How is Hakari killing Yuji? The list goes on. He has one move where all he does is stall and distract you from the fact that he stinks. Hakari is the ice spice of Jujutsu Kaisen, flashy effects with barely any substance. Being a Hakari fan is like saying that your favorite manga of all time is Rent a Girlfriend, the type of individual that will be there for the Latina Chan manga. You have a humiliation kink if you are a Hakari fan. Hakari somehow has a worse showcase in the series than Useless Captain Kid, the man who got his back blown out by Mr. Hockey Man Shanks. This isn't even an agenda, this is just the truth, because at the very least Kid got to fight Kaido. Hakari doesn't even know what Fuga looks like. Hakari has been ducking the Sukuna test for 8 months straight. 8 months of playing 21 questions with Urarame instead of fighting like a man against Sukuna. Now as garbage as that fight is, I have to give Gege some credit. I'm someone who gives credit where credit is due. Gege surpassed my expectations and somehow managed to write a fight worse than Zoro versus Rob Lucci in Egghead. Hakari fighting Sukuna has to be Jujutsu Kaisen's own version of ZKK. Gege wasted our time with that moment in chapter 245 where Urarame describes Hakari as an individual who has lost his humanity, which is obviously a parallel to Sukuna. I know that Hakari fans are going to be shameless too and try to pretend like they never desperately wanted Sukuna to fight the man. Be prepared to see statements along the lines of, Hakari and Sukuna don't have to meet for Hakari to be a good character. The cope is ridiculous. Have some self-respect. You don't have to settle for garbage all the time.
You're a victim.
At the time of recording this video, there are currently 4 chapters left for Jujutsu Kaisen. You can tell me to wait until the manga is done all you want, that I should have faith in Gege when it comes to Hakari. My response to this is that you need to stop inhaling the copium gas. Sukuna is currently getting his back blown up by Nobara and Yuji tag teaming him, so there's no chance of Hakari getting a chance to interact with Sukuna. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if Gege has Urarame take their own life upon hearing about Sukuna's defeat, meaning that Hakari once again would not have the facilities to defeat a top tier. Gege could also just off-screen the entire fight and reveal to us who the winner is in the last 4 chapters, which is equally as garbage. So no matter what, this situation is a lose-lose for Hakari fans. Gege would rather have the audience spend an entire chapter on Kusakabe versus Sukuna than give us an update for what is going on between Hakari and Urarame. Hana, the character that fell for Sukuna's porn tier level acting, had more relevance in this entire final arc than Hakari did. Hakari is cosplaying as a black man the same way he cosplays being a top tier. How do you have infinite curse energy rushing through your bones and have never hit a black flash before? What are we doing? Honestly, the more I think about it, for a character this garbage, Hakari did not deserve such a convoluted domain. Although I really shouldn't be surprised by this because nothing truly makes sense when it comes to the greatest pawn's eye scheme in Jujutsu Kaisen. The last thing I will say about Hakari is that his face looks like a rat, so Kiara was doing charity work. If you stuck around till the end of the video, I just want you to know that I appreciate you. And if you want to talk to me about anime related topics, join my Discord server. Also consider becoming a channel member, another way to support me, and I support you back with shoutouts at the end of the video, early access to new videos, custom emotes, and members only videos depending on which level of membership you decide to choose. And if you're someone that enjoys anime content that keeps it real, consider subscribing so when I hit 10k, you can brag about being a day one. I gotta get back in the kitchen to cook. Peace.